Hi, this is another one of these little videos where you just will have to slow down a moment and actually keep listening to what is unfolding, um, because it's not a quick attention grabber and moving on. It goes a little bit in depth, and so it's up to you if you would like to um, come with me on this little journey or not. But if you feel like you're rushed and you want to be somewhere else, then just continue to move on now. What I want to share today is a little Zen proverb that I've come across fairly recently. And it says, let go or be dragged. I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying, just 5 little words, and there's so much in them. It's like letting go, letting go. Why can't I let go? It's a big thing in our culture, in this, being stressed out to such an extent, like often feeling like failures, feeling like being disrespected, um, not being able to move past situations, not being able to move past disappointments. That is the being dragged mentally in circles of the mind going back again and again and again to the moment of wound, hurt that happened, and finding ever new ways of how one should have responded, how one didn't respond, and how this was a bad thing. And of course, it's not that easy to just let go. Because truth be told, if it was that easy, we would all be living vastly different lives. The inability to let go can even increase the sense of failure, increase the sense of attachment to the situation, because we are hurt by something. It seems we are hurt by something that happened to us. And then we turn the knife, so to speak, to ourselves and increase the hurt by going, why can't I let go of this? It's really not that important. I should be able to just move past this. And we can't. So how does this look? Someone talks to you in a way that doesn't seem to care about you, or in a way that seems to disrespect you, right? Things like that happen. They happen at work, with colleagues, with clients. They happen in the family, and they're gone, moved on. You got through the situation, but your mind goes on and on and on about it. Can't seem to stop. And if you're having a challenging work situation where you actually need to focus moment by moment, a lot of the time you can put it aside while you're at work. But then the moment you sit down on a break, the moment you leave work and you get in the car, or however you get home, and you're on your way home, and here it is again. And we begin to obsess about it again. It's waiting to snag our attention, and it's draining our joy, it's draining our energy, and it's really just capturing our focus and just wants to continue to go on and on. And even to the extent that somebody like kids or pets demanding attention is a nuisance, because that worry about it seems more important. There's a lovely Zen story about it as well. It's 2 monks are traveling, one old monk and his disciple. So in the Zen tradition, there used to be one teacher, one disciple. That's how it used to work. And so this old Zen master is traveling along with his young disciple, and they come to this big puddle, and next to them, a lady stops with her carriage, and there's 2 servants carrying the carriage, and there's also the lady has been shopping, and there's lots of parcels. And so the servants can't get her and her carriage and the parcels dry over the puddle. And the lady complains and complains and complains and complains. And the monk, the old master, Zen master, picks up the lady and carries her over the puddle and sets her down on the other side and then continues on his way. And the lady doesn't even say thank you. And so they continue to travel on throughout the whole day. And the young monk keeps trying to understand what happened. And at the end of the day, finally, he cannot contain himself any longer. And he says to his master, Master, why did you carry this lady across the water? She was so rude to her parents. She was entirely ungrateful. Why did you do that for her? And the old monk says, are you still carrying her? I have set her down long time ago. I just love these little stories. So how do we let go? There are many processes that help. The first step is always to become aware of being snagged in a story, in a situation, and then developing the desire to actually move past it. And not just a fleeting desire, but like, no, enough. And then you can do visualizations, somatic focusing on the body, processes to develop compassion for the other person, working with our own traumas, and the work. The processes that I use with clients are steeped in practical mindfulness, practical, oh, this is what is happening. I see. And a sense of spirituality, a sense of connectedness with the person in front of us, even if they seem to have been nasty. Going through the work, going through the process of the work of Byron Katie, allows you to actually listen to your own needs and wants. And a lot of the time, those have been things that we have learned, we have been taught from a very early age to disregard. It's developmentally, it's the terrible twos. That's the time when we first learn to recognize our needs and ask for them, fight for them. And a child that is supported through this time will feel confident in the world. They will feel confident that the world will support them, and they will feel confident in stating and pursuing what they need in order to feel happy and satisfied. And that is a very challenging time for parents. That's why it's called the terrible twos. And it's especially challenging when parents don't realize the underlying developmental task at this age. Because if we don't realize what is happening, what they are trying to do, then that neediness and bossiness and stubbornness of a 2-year-old seems a sore trial, just sorely sent to test us. When we don't understand that this child is learning to be in touch with their desires and build confidence, then parents as parents will react with impatience. And then the belief is that this child is unreasonable. This child doesn't listen. This child needs to learn manners, which is not what they need to learn at that age. And another reason why this is such a hard time for parents is because it's a trigger. It's a trigger for parents because we have been brought up in that same way. We have been taught as toddlers that our parents' needs and others' needs are more important than our own. You have to share this toy. Mommy needs you to stop crying. I need you to eat your vegetables. If you don't stop, you'll have to go to your room. This is what we are being told. And so as we subject ourselves eventually to our parents, because they know best, and at that point, we have learned that our needs and wants are secondary. And they have to be secondary in order for us to be loved, held, and appreciated. And the process isn't just let the toddler do whatever. The process is of seeing them, meeting them where they're at, and appreciating what they are meant to learn, what they are trying to do. And a healthy parental response is one of kind attention, support, and guidance. You can keep your toy. You are totally right. This is your toy. Absolutely, this is your toy. But if you let your brother play with it as well, he might be happy to share his toys in the same way. But it is your decision. Not being supported in our own development like this leads to wounds that make us overreact when our needs and wants aren't met as adults. And comparative, these things seem like small wounds and slights comparative to what some go through, right? But nevertheless, they affect us deeply. And when we are triggered, we are not able to see the person who triggers us. We are no longer able to connect with them. We are just responding, reacting to that trigger. It's always feels personal. So one of the ways the process of the work can help us let go is by helping us understand what is actually happening. And then, okay, now I see. Now, how can I solve it? How can I now support myself, guide myself, and hear and see myself? Because now you're an adult, it's up to you. And in my experience, this is a really actionable and rational and sane way to go about it. We can shout forever at the world to try and change it so that it suits us. But that is a lot of work. And it's a very thankless task because the world tends to not comply with our wishes. Or alternatively, we can heal our own wounds and we can extend the compassion that we build in that way and the understanding that we develop. We can start to extend that to others and heal them in that way. So in my experience, that is way more rational, way more actionable way to go about it. And it takes into consideration what you can do. And it allows you to take your power back. So if you're interested in checking out the work, you can fill one of those forms out to apply to work with me on this. And there is a free initial session of 45 minutes that people have said is quite powerful without you needing to commit to anything. Or you can join one of my Facebook Lives and bring your problem and your situation, the thing that drags you around, and we'll talk about it and see how much we can shift it.